All right. For those of you that haven't done your introductions, please feel free to send us a message in the chat and let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know your name and where you're joining us from. All right, wonderful. I believe we are ready to start. We are ready to start. All right. Thank you once again, everyone. You're very much welcome, and we are excited to have you here. Welcome to our live webinar. My name is Uitkanye Botho, and I am the education consultant at Education Link, and I will be your moderator for the day. So today, this webinar is dedicated to help students as well as parents to understand the opportunities to study in Poland from the application processes all the way until student integration into Poland. Now, before we begin, I would just to lay down a few ground rules just to make sure that everything runs smoothly. First of all, I would advise you all to please keep your microphones on mute, especially during presentations. And then, secondly, you're more than welcome to type in your questions, whatever questions you may have throughout the webinar. Please feel free to ask them in the chat and they will be addressed at the end. And speaking of questions, the third point is we will have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so everything will be answered live right here. And then lastly, as you might have all seen, this webinar is being recorded for those of you that may want to rewatch at a later point in time. All right. Now, as I've already said, I am the education consultant at Education Link, but I'm not alone. I'm joined by an amazing team. Firstly, we've got our operations manager, Mr. Neoman. Please do say hello to people.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
We're excited to have you here. And also, secondly, we have got our university liaison, Mr. Belton Manisa. Please do say hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right. And that is Team Education Link for you. Now, also, we're very proud to work in partnership with Think Poland, who are our trusted international partner in Poland. Now, together with them, we shall be providing students with comprehensive support from pre-departure proceedings all the way till student integration in Poland. Please help me welcome the representative here with us, Ms. Martyna Budek.
Hi, hello everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Martina. And now to give us an overview of our services and what we've got to offer, I shall now invite our operations manager, Mr. Neoman Natoko, to the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Botho. As our lady Botho has already explained, we are Education Link and we firmly focus on providing a particular service, which is aiding students from Africa to go and study in Europe. For this particular seminar, we'll be focusing on the opportunity to study in Poland together with our partner, Think Poland. So there are many questions that may come to pass as we'll go right into the thick of things. If you have any questions, anything, please don't forget to write in the chat. We'll go over the questions after the presentation. So first of all, you might ask yourself, why should I study in Poland? Well, first, we know that Poland provides a very high quality of education on each and every program that you can possibly think of, from stuff such as robotics to cybersecurity to medicine to even human resource courses such as international relations. Poland offers them at a high quality standard. Poland also offers one of the cheapest and most affordable standard of living in Europe, with tuition fees ranging from around 3,000 euros per year and live cost of living within around 600 euros, which is relatively cheap when compared to other countries within Europe. Poland also offers what many students like, which is a working opportunity. Where can I work when I'm a student? Where can I work after I'm being a student? That is what studying in Poland offers for each and every student. Even an opportunity not only to work within Poland or to be within Poland, but to go within the second area, which includes countries such as Germany, Italy. That is, you have the opportunity to go and find work outside after, of course, obtaining a residency. Now, we'll go into what are we going to focus on and what it is that we need to know about the admission process to go to Poland, what it is that you need to know about anything really. So first of all, we have the proper document preparation and review. Proper documents will have a university selection. You get to select whichever university of choice. You have such as the application process, which are quite similar across many universities. We offer such as visa assistant. We also offer accommodation arrangements. That is an arrangement for you to find a hostel to live in. If not a hostel, even an apartment. We offer traveling planning when it is you can travel and also arrival support. That is, as soon as you land within Poland, there'll be a group of people there available to greet you and to show you around the city to finish off all the necessary documents and the such. Now, in a bit of detail, when we go to the admission process, that is, you get to pick whichever university of choice that you desire. For example, if you want to study medicine, maybe you want to study in the University of Warsaw, you get to pick such a university. Then we get to arrange all the necessary documents for your application. Go into details like where will you live? As soon as we get into details of where will you live, your travel support, your visa, you arrive upon Poland. Within the first few days, we must make sure that you have their necessities, which will be taken care of when you arrive in Poland by our partner, Think Poland. So the necessities include stuff such as a bank card, SIM cards, uh, bank card, SIM cards, any other document that are necessary within your arrival, the TRC, and the such. If we go on then to asking the proper question is, okay, how much does all of this cost? How much do Think Poland or does Education Link and Think Poland get from this? Well, first, we help you to apply up to 3 universities and full support, as we said, from the beginning to the end, from application when you are there in Namibia, in Zambia, through all of the whole process to until you arrive in Poland, helping you to arrive and everything else. Now, we offer our services at a fee of 1,500 euros, which is quite a small fee when we think about all of the processes that are yet to happen. Now, when we when you look at, okay, where do I pay the tuition fees? Well, all fees related to tuition, to visas, to medical aids, to all such process are paid directly to the university or to the medical provider or even to your embassies for the visa processes. That is, we make sure that our process is trustworthy. We only hold that which comes to us, that is our commission fee or our agency fee, as you would call it. Tuition fees and everything are paid directly to the proper universities. Now, we continue and you ask about, okay, if I cannot pay the 1,500 fully, how then do I pay it? Well, we offer a payment plan which is advisable for each and every person who desires to go this route. That is, the first installment is 500 euros. We are dividing it by 3. That's the application submission process. We help you while you're still in your country to apply for those universities, to get all the proper documents and everything. Then as soon as that is done, we wait for an acceptance letter. Then as soon as you get an acceptance letter, you can pay the second installment. After getting the acceptance letter, we then work on necessary documents that can help you arrive in Poland, such as the visa and the such. Then after approval of the visa, you can pay the last and final installment, and we will have our people waiting for you in Poland upon your arrival. Now, you ask in detail, what does that admission process consist of? For bachelors, for masters, for PhDs, practically one and the same. Well, all courses are offered in English through Education Poland, through Education Link and Think Poland. All courses are offered English. Therefore, we require that you would have taken a standardized English test, such as the IELTS, the TOEFL, the ESOL. Then we require documents that show your highest level of education. That is, if it's high school for bachelors, your high school certificate and transcript. If it's master's, that is your bachelor's degree and grades. And we also put in your passport photos and a resume or a CV. Please bear in mind that this process does not require GREs or SATs or stuff like that. We mainly require that which has been listed here. Now, as I have already stated, for all of these documents, there is a requirement for apostillation or legalization. That is a stamp or a main requirement that shows that each and every document that you are providing to us is fully legal and can be accepted by the university that you'll be applying to. Now, it goes even to all other details such as passport photos, application fees also, those minor fees, or continue on. You can even add a cover letter, a health certification, and a letter of recommendation, which are usually good just to encourage the admissions officers to accept you, depending on how your grades are, how your CV is, how your cover letter is, who you are as a person. Why do you really want to go and study in Poland? Such things are important in this application process. It goes it goes without saying that the same process goes along for master's students. They go for the same exact process as a bachelor student for the exact same fees. Now, you might be wondering then is when are the intakes? Currently, we are working on the October intake. That is, Poland has two intakes, the October intakes and the February intake. The October intake is currently what we are working on to ensure that all of these documents, all of these processes are met before the deadlines of each university that one will pick. Our application deadlines usually range between July and August. So there's still a good amount of time to do the whole processes. Same goes for the application deadline for February, usually range around December and January. It depends on the universities, whether it's a public or a private university. So you might wonder then, what universities does Poland hold? As we say, there's the University of Warsaw. There's all types of universities like Warsaw University of Technology, the Polish Japanese University. All of these universities are within our bank in our partnership with Think Poland. That means we can help you to apply to any of the universities that are listed here together with us. So we'll move on to what we consider frequently asked questions. Of course, this does not mean that you cannot ask your own questions. We will have time for that. So frequently asked questions are, is there work for international students, as we said? Yes, indeed, there is a good amount of work for international students, and they are allowed to work on their student visas or while they are studying. So you can find a few works that are according to your profession, or even a work that is not according to your profession. A question that goes like, is English an official language? As it is in many parts of Europe, uh, they have their own languages. but all these universities do accept and understand English within even the country itself of Poland. Many of the people speak English. I believe our friend Martina will testify to that. And you can ask about what are the cost of living in Poland. As we have already stated, it ranges approximately to around 600 per month. That depends on a lot of things, that fee. That is, it depends on the type of accommodation you have chosen, and then the standard of living that you prefer to live. But if you want to prefer something that is significantly okay standard of living, then that amount of money is enough for many international students in Poland. So, what about the tuition fees? As stated, they start from around 3,000 euros per year, and depending on the university and the level of study that one will choose. So, for whichever course that you will choose for us, we as Education Link and Think Poland will be able to create for you a suitable quotation so that you can see the costs of the education, not only for that one particular year, but for the whole period of study. And like to say thank you. This is the end of the presentation. After this, I can give back to my moderator.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manatoko, for that informative presentation. I do hope that it's a lot clearer now what our services are and what we have to offer to you. And now, I would like to give the floor to Miss Martina. Martina, could you please share with our audience a little bit about yourself as well as what they can expect, what kind of services they can expect in Poland?
Yes, of course. Okay, so my name is Martina and I'm educational consultant at Think Poland agency. So thank you for participating in this webinar. So actually, as a Think Poland, we are an agency that helps international students with university application, with whole the process. Actually, we are in charge for whole the process from A to Z. So if you want to apply with us, we can help you not only with whole admission process, but also we are post-landing provider here in Poland. So after you arrive in Poland, we also offer to you our post-landing services such as airport pickup, opening a bank account, SIM card, insurance, actually everything. We also help you to extend your legal stay here in Poland, and we provide also assistance with obtaining a temporary residence card here in Poland. Because usually students come to Poland with only 1 year valid visa, and to extend their legal stay, they need to obtain this temporary residence card. So yeah, actually, with us, all the process goes very smoothly. If you have any questions regarding the documents or how to prepare yourself to visit Poland, to start your study here, I'm here to answer all your questions.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Martina. I believe you have all heard what you can expect, what kind of services you'll be getting once you arrive in Poland. And at this point in time, we will move into our Q&A session. As we have already mentioned, we hope that you have your questions in our chat. So we will begin with the first one. Miss Martina will do the honors of answering whatever questions you might have. If you would like to ask a question any other way, please feel free to react or by raising your hand. All right. So the first question, as I see here, is coming from Almaz. Almaz says, if I'm accepted to a master's program in Poland, is it easy to get visa for my family, spouse, and kids? That is. If yes, how long does it take?
Okay, so actually, We are service provider only for our students, so we can help with visa assistance only for our students to prepare a whole package of documents like acceptance letter from university, accommodation letter also. However, in case of getting visa for your family, it's like separate service, and actually we are not um, we are not in charge for this. Um, so yeah, it's hard to say how long it takes for your family to get this visa, but actually we have lots of students that actually come with their family, like with their parents. But for example, we last year we had one of student. She applied for bachelor degree here. She get acceptance. She was from India, and this year her mother joined to her here in Poland. She will start her work here, but this is like separately service, and her mother had to apply for a work visa because she came here to work, not for study. Mm.
I see. Thank you very much for that answer. Almas, I hope you're satisfied with that answer. If you have anything more to ask, you're still free to ask more. All right. Our next question is from Abir Jawad. He says, do we still need to take IELTS if our schools mainly taught in English? I guess if the
Yes, actually, in case of English certificate, it's required for bachelor degree programs. In case of applying for master degree, medium of instruction is enough. However, for this bachelor degree programs, always one of the English certificate is required. It can be IELTS, but it's not necessary. We can also provide 10% of discount to take ESOL exam, which is quite easy to pass. The results are within 3 business working days. Mm. And the cost with this discount is around 170 euros, 174 exactly. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. And now moving on to our next question from Doema, is asking, as for work, do you also assist with that?
No, unfortunately, no. We
Mm,
only focus on admission for studies.
yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The next question is coming in from Marvin Bethel. He's asking, what is the process of getting a residency?
Okay, so actually we are in charge for whole the process. So after you came to Poland for your studies, you before your visa expired, you need to come to our office and or just write an email to our team in charge for TRC process, and then step by step they will guide you with all the details. Um, actually, yeah, we have a second office especially dedicated for this process because it's connected with whole formalities. But yeah, it's with us the process goes very smoothly.
All right. Great, great, great stuff. All right. Another question coming from Derma still. He's asking, in our country, we have a mature entry application. If you don't qualify with your grade 12 or high school points are not enough. Is this also possible with Education Link? I'm not too sure if we
Mm.
understand that question. If you don't mind, Derma, could you please explain a little bit further what you meant by that?
Yes, maybe I will explain that
Mhm.
the basis to apply for a bachelor degree is high school diploma and high school transcript.
Mhm.
So if you want to start your studies, we need you to finish like your 12 grades. And in Poland, we don't have programs like foundation programs. We can only offer courses, language courses, and it can be Polish language or English language course. This is like preparation for to take future education here.
All right. Awesome. All right. There's a question here from Shama. Shama is asking, for the bank statement, how much should one have to get a visa fast?
Okay, so for visa, you need to prove that you have around 8 to 9,000 euros. You need to have this bank statement, and actually, one of the proof that you have this kind of amount of money, it can be credit card with this limit, or it can be also like two credit cards with combined limit of this amount, 8 to 9,000 euros.
All right. Thank you for that answer. Another one from Shama is asking, is there racism in Poland?
No, no, there's no racism in Poland. For sure, we are a very tolerant country, and actually
Mhm.
one of the safe country in Europe, and not only in Europe, in the whole world. Actually, we have
Yes.
one of the lowest crime rates here. So Poland is very safe country, and all foreign people are very welcome here.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Another question. It says, what happens if you don't get accepted to the three universities that you applied to? Is it then that you have to pay the excess fee?
Actually, there is like very low risk to not get acceptance to the free universities, because normally we have like rate, I would say 90% of sure that at least one of the university can issue acceptance letter, because in our offer we have uh, many universities like private, public ones. But if someone doesn't get an acceptance letter, we can also apply to another free universities, but it will be like for additional fee, and this additional fee, it will be like first of installment. You need to pay like first installment once again to start like process from the top. uh, so yeah, there's additional acceptance there's additional fee, but it's, I would say, it's not very uh, it's not usually like
It's not the
it
case
doesn't
that
happen.
you won't get
Yes,
in.
yes.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. All right. Dama's also asking, as for work, oh, no, not that one. Oh, it's coming in from Marvin, actually. He says, which job opportunities are available for students, and are there restrictions in terms of sectors students can work in?
No, actually, for work, students can work in very popular sector like service, like restaurants and hotels. They can find mm, they can find work in lots of corporate internship. Like many global companies are here and offer also work for students.
Mhm.
Mm, so yeah, I would say it's very easy to start work here because we
Yes.
have very low unemployment rate also, like
Mm.
one of the lowest unemployment rate actually here. And in case of limit, like there's there is no restriction regarding working hours for students. So the only condition is that they need to attend for their classes at university, which is like from Monday to Friday. But on the weekends, students can work.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. There's somebody who has the microphone on. Please do mute it. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, and now on to another question. Shama's asking, what universities do you deal with and what percentage of scholarships do they have to offer?
Okay, so actually, as I think Poland, we are a partner with over 30 universities in Poland in many different sectors like business schools, technology, medicine, and we cooperate with both public and private ones. And okay, yeah, that was the first part of question, and the second, I cannot see this.
Oh, what percentage of
It was
scholarships? Is that the one?
yeah, of course. So regarding the scholarship, actually scholarship in Poland are merit-based, which means that you can apply for one after your first semester or first year in Poland. So if you have very good grades, if if your academic performance is very good, you can apply for one. But we have also an interesting idea for students, which is internship. Internships. We have Erasmus Plus program in Poland. And with this program, you can finish your 1 or 2 semester abroad, like for example in Germany or in other European countries. And this is like a part of your studies here, so you don't lose your time. You can travel and you can finish your 1 year abroad.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And then there's another part to that question. It says, overall, how much can one spend for accommodation?
Okay, so it depends what kind of accommodation you would like to have. So approximately the average cost of a place in a state university dormitory is, I would say, like between 200 to 250 euros. For private dormitory, it's like between 300 to 600 euros. And okay, so then the price for of a room to rent in a shared apartment it will be like 250 to 450 euros. And the rent of a studio flat in Poland is like between 500 to 750 euros.
All right, all right. There's another question from Ivy. Ivy saying, hi, I'm from Kenya, and can one still come to study there? And I've studied under the Kenyan education system of KCSE. So this is their high school
Yes.
version of
Mhm. Yes, I
O
know this
levels.
diploma,
Mm,
and yeah, we have students with this qualification. So,
mm.
yes. Mhm.
Great, great, great. Then finally
But
from
maybe I
yes.
will mention also one more important thing, because in Poland we have one procedure which is called NAWA procedure, NAWA
Mhm.
decision, and it's required for all students that their diplomas are from countries from non-OECD, EFTA, or European Union countries. So most of African students actually require this NAWA decision. And of course, we are in charge for whole procedure, so you don't need to worry about this. However, it's good to start the procedure as soon as possible, because usually this NAWA decision, to get this NAWA decision, um, it's like up to 2 months, actually up to 60 days. So it's around 2 months to get this decision. And only with this decision, university can issue acceptance letter. So I would say that if you want to start your studies in October, we should start the procedure at the end of June at the latest to be on time with everything.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that. Then finally, Mission is asking, what are the requirements?
Okay, so
Yes,
maybe
entry requirements.
yeah, for this NAWA procedure,
Mm-hmm.
for example, we need to have your high school diploma and high school transcript if you would like to apply for bachelor degree, and also the documents from the previous stage of education, which means that, for example, previous stage of education from high school is middle school, right? So we need also a middle school diploma and middle school transcript. And then when we get this NAWA decision, we can apply to university, and there is actually the most important documents is high school diploma and high school transcript with legalization. Okay, the legalization you can obtain in embassy, and also one of the most important requirements is English certificate, but this can be IELTS or ESOL, which I mentioned before. And also for universities, we also required documents like passport photo, and sometimes in some cases motivation letter.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. Coming in from Shama, another question. How long does it take for the visa to come out?
I would say it's approximately 3 to 4 weeks to get a visa.
3 to 4 weeks. Thank you. Another question here. Is a TOEFL certificate valid?
Uh, TEF-
TOEFL.
TOEFL, okay, I will check.
That's teaching English as a foreign language, if
Uh-huh.
I think, yeah.
Okay. It depends, I would say. Probably yes, but some universities have like different requirements. So each time when we get your documents, first we need to check your eligibility. So then we contact with university and ask if with this document you will be able to apply for admission, and then after getting this mm, this confirmation, we can apply for.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
But of
Um,
course, main confirmation is getting this NAWA decision, which is like
oh,
first step. Mhm.
it has to be the first step. All right.
Yes.
I hope you all can understand that. And that was the last question from our chat. Does anyone else have any other question? Anyone else that might have forgotten to type in that question? Anyone? Anyone? All right. It looks like we don't have any additional questions. Anyone from education team? Now, Belton, do you have anything to say? Do you have anything to add?
Yeah. One thing I wanted to add was to, as a clarification, I think to Dolma's question. She wanted to understand when she was talking about a mature entry application, something related to points, as in how many points can a person have maybe to apply for medicine? Like what type of grades should they have to apply for medicine? What type of grades should they have to apply for cybersecurity? Is there an entry limit to the type of grades they can have to apply for any of these? Uh, programs?
Okay, so actually, I would say like GPA should be average of GPA should be like over 60%. Yeah, 60% is like the minimum. And in case of medicine, for example, we always have something like entry exam for medicine programs. So this actually is the most important thing to consider from universities, like the results from this exam. So if you don't have like very good grades on your high school diploma, you can always take this entry exam, and if you pass this very good, you can be able to study here. So it depends, but on average, I would say like this 60% GPA is enough to be able to start education here.
Fantastic, fantastic.
All right. Anyone else from our audience? Anyone else with questions? You can raise your hand. You're allowed to raise your hand if you have any questions. All right. Looks like we don't have any more questions. Miss Ma- Miss Martina, thank you very, very much for giving us the honor, of course, of being here with us. And thank you very much for answering the questions. I'm sure everyone was satisfied with them. And thank you to everyone else for your excellent questions and participation today. We truly hope that this session has helped you to understand the kind of opportunities that you can find in Poland, as well as, how you can get there. And now, if you have any other questions or if you'd like any further personal assistance, you're more than welcome to reach us on our social platforms as well as on our contacts that you can see on the screen right now. And on that note, we have reached the end of our webinar. On behalf of our team and our wonderful partners over at Think Poland, I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you once again for joining us. And we look forward to supporting you on your international studying journey. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. Good night.